I like you very much. I think you're grand. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's me. I'm being a little bit camp today, but one can't be anything but camp when holding a pair of maracas. I'm I've got that wrong again. This is the second time I've tried this. I'm channeling my inner Carmen Miranda, because she was famous for having a lovely pair of maracas. They're very noisy, actually. And yes, I don't know much about Carmen Miranda, and some of you younger viewers won't have even heard of her. All I know about Carmen Miranda is she was a woman, she used maracas, and she often would appear with a big bowl of fruit on her head. I don't know why. I'm not sure if she was American. Anyway, she's from the olden days, the olden times. So I've got these maracas here. Why? Why, Roger, you ask, have you got a pair of maracas? Well, these were kindly gifted to me, and I'll read the gift note out. It's from my Amazon wish list. And when I first made the Amazon wish list, I didn't put any notes underneath. And somebody bought these, and I thought, what is this person who kindly bought me these maracas? What are they going to think I want them for? So now, under nearly everything I've put on my Amazon wish list, I put a little note just to say why. And I would have actually put a note as to why I wanted these maracas. And the reason I wanted these maracas, believe it or not, apart from the fact they're very fun, I went to a Abba Dickson concert on Sunday, and I thought I could have bought these and joined in. Caravan, oh my soul is on the run. I don't think Babs would have liked it. More on Babs later. Not moron. More about Babs later. She's not a moron. Hopefully not, anyway. So, why did I buy these? Oh yes, I bought these because you might know I like Miranda. You know, I like the sitcom Miranda with Miranda Hart. And she did a DVD workout video called, I think it's called Miranda Size or something. Anyway, I've got it. I've got it somewhere. I've got the DVD, but here's a picture of it anyway. And anyway, it's a workout video that involves maracas. So I thought I'll do a video. So these will be seen again in a separate video where I'm doing a bit of working out to this. Apparently, it's a funny video. It's got some comedy sketches not seen on TV, and it's got a proper workout, and Miranda, I think she's in the background larking about and falling over, etc. But apparently it's quite a challenging workout. People said, well, it is fun, but it's, you know, gets you sweating, gets you moist at least. So that's why I put these on my wish list. There was many to choose from. Some plastic ones are lit up when you shook them. I think they were more aimed at kids, but I think these looked a bit more professional, if you know what I mean. And there's all sorts of suggestive things I can do with them. Oh, how old are you, Roger? Grow up. And no, I'm not 70. I said I was 70. Really, some people believed it. Really? 70? I'm not 70 at all. Nowhere near 70. Anyway, I'm going to sit down with my one and only cup of coffee of the day, and we'll thank the kind viewer that bought me this lovely pair of maracas. Right, I need to now thank the kind person that bought me these Matador maracas. Let's put them to one side. Be quiet. Here's the gift note. A gift from Elliot C. Stipulation, you have to play these on cam. There's occasions I've got home from work, I've had a bad day, and seeing YouTube pop a new video from you makes a difference. You are an inspiration. Keep doing what you do, from Elliot C. Well, thank you, Elliot. I'm glad that whatever I do brings a smile to your face after a bad day. I'm not sure how I inspire folk. Maybe, I don't know. I inspire people to keep taking the tablets. But anyway, that's great. So, as I said, Elliot, you will be seeing me shaking my maracas again a little bit more when I show you a bit of the Miranda workout video, which should be fun. I'm planning to lose a little bit more weight before I start jiggling these again, especially if I've got some workout gear on. I am losing weight. The 1 meal a day thingy is working. Well, it's showing less weight on the scale. I think so far, I can't remember, it's about 4 kilograms. I think my belly's gone down a bit, and I'm having to tighten my belt. Not in a financial way, but literally having to tighten my belt. These jeans, I can't wear these jeans now without them falling down, and so I have to put the belt on. I've had quite a last week. Oof, I did actually leave the house, and we did things, Mark and myself. So some of you might know we booked to see Abba Voyage, and I'm going to do a separate video on Abba Voyage because I think it works as a standalone. So I'll just say it was fantastic. That's all I'm saying in this video. When Mark booked the tickets, he'd just booked February the 14th. He didn't realise it was Valentine's Day, but anyway. So I went to my mum's a few days beforehand because Mark was going to Hull. So he dropped me off at my mum's on the Saturday, and I stopped at my mum's for a few days. Some of you might know Mum lost one of her dogs, Millie. She was very old. Fortunately, it was quite quick. She didn't suffer a long time, but she had a good long life, bless her. I think she was 17. So it was time for Millie to say goodbye. So it was sad. So my mum only has Harry and Evie now, but there was a lot less cleaning up to do in the kitchen of a morning, bless her, because Millie did flood the place. So I went to my mum's. I sorted out some stuff in the loft a bit, brought some vacuums back to sell, which all sold, and I'm in the aftermath of the selling because they've been collected. Most of them have been collected today. I packaged them all up. They finished Sunday gone. We're on Tuesday now. So I did some bits and took the dogs. We went out for walks with the dogs, etc. So yeah, that was nice. And then Mark arrived at my mum's on Tuesday evening, and then we went to London on Wednesday morning. We got the train, the Hull train, just after 9. It was first. We treated ourselves to first class, and in first class you get some free breakfast and drinks and things. So we did get a free. It was a hot ciabatta roll. There was 3 options: sausage, bacon, or vegan sausage. So we both went for the vegan sausage option, which was nice. It had some onion stuff in it as well. Vegan sausage, bit hard to eat because, well, every time I bit into it, my sausage fell out. I had to keep putting my sausage back in. So, and we had coffee and shortbread, and it was a lovely, just over 2 hours on Hull trains down to London King's Cross, and then from London King's Cross, I think we went straight to Stratford, which is near where the Abba Voyage and near our hotel, but we couldn't book until 1. So we went there, and what we did first, because we couldn't book in, we were there early, so we had to walk around. So we went to this Westfield shopping centre in Stratford, which I'd say is maybe a 10-minute walk from our hotel. So we walked around there. Mark needed to buy some pyjamas from M&S because he forgot to bring some. We went to M&S, had a look at John Lewis. Oh, I did take some footage of John Lewis from the electrical department. I'll be showing you a bit of it now. I'll put some up while I'm prattling on. So went to John Lewis, had a look round there, went in a few other shops, and then before we knew it, and then I think we went to M&S. Oh no, we did do M&S first, or is it last? No, we did M&S after John Lewis. Just looked round, and then looked at the watch, and it was time to check in. So we walked to the hotel, found it pretty easily, checked in no problem. So the hotel room, pretty standard, fine. It was a twin room, twin beds, but they were together, but they're separate beds. Yeah, just what we needed really. And then it was really only a 15-minute walk or so from the hotel to Abba Voyage, which It was fantastic. It was worth it. It's expensive. I can't remember how much we paid. I looked at prices now and thought, blimey, was it as much as that? We got good seats though. We didn't go in the mosh pit at the front. We had seats and they were dead centre to the stage. Here's a picture of our view. This is all I can show you because it was strictly prohibited to film anything, you know. People were taking shots beforehand. But yeah, I'll do a separate video on that, but it was well worth it. But when we left, I thought, no, I wouldn't want to see it again straight away. Everyone says, oh, I want to see it again. I would like to see it again, to be honest, but not for a while. Apparently, though, we went on the 14th, and on the 17th, on the matinee, on the 17th, Frida Annifrid from Abba was actually there in the audience, because at the end, they said, oh, they didn't say it to anyone because people would have been looking at her all the time, I expect. But yes, apparently at the end of the concert, that somebody announced we have a very special guest. It's Frida, and she stood up, and she had a dance booth, which is sort of a separate area you can book that's got about 8 seats in, and you've got a little bit of a dance floor, so you can have a little boogie. And there were people in the same booth as her. I didn't know it was her until she stood up, you know. Nobody's going to think you're going to go and see an Abba Voyage concert and there's actually going to be a real member of Abba sitting a few seats away from you. So, yeah, we missed out there. I've got some notes on my iPad because if I don't, I'll be going on forever and ever. So it was a lovely trip to London. It all went well. The weather wasn't bad. We also went to a museum called the Museum of Brands. I'll do a separate video on that. We got off on we got confused. It's Mark's fault, but he blamed me. We got off on the wrong tube, so it was a long, long walk to get there. And we had our rucksacks with us because we'd checked out the hotel. We had time. I think the train wasn't till 4 p.m. and we checked out the hotel. Oh, and the breakfast was okay. Okay, it wasn't, you know, the hash browns a bit dry. I could only have hash browns, some baked beans, scrambled egg. I also had some yoghurt and a couple of mini muffins and a pancake. You know, try to fill up on the breakfast. That was all included. The room itself, one night, including breakfast, was £115 for a double room. I thought that was good. Not bad at all, and very convenient for the venue. So I'll discuss that more in my Abba Voyage video. We went to the Museum of Brands, and it's somewhere in Notting Hill. There is a much nearer tube station. For some reason we got off far too soon. But anyway, going back was easier because the tube station was much closer. So that did cost to get in. I did ask, can I take photos? And they said yes, but no flash. I didn't ask if I could take video, but I assumed I could if I can take photos. So that will be a separate video because I took lots and lots of photos from the Museum of Brands and some video footage. So I'll do a separate video on that and I'll show you what I bought from the gift shop. So there'll be separate videos on the Abba Voyage and the Museum of Brands. So we came home Thursday. We were thinking of stopping the night at my mum's on Thursday, but my mum had already washed the bedding, so we thought, oh, we won't mess up the bedding again, we'll go. So I had to pack all the car with all the vacuums that I'd put up on eBay that was selling from my mum's, so they had to go in the car and everything. So it was all a bit, you know, shove it all in. So we got home Thursday evening, and then not a lot, you know, just getting used to the old routine. And then the following Sunday, I went to see Barbara Dickson in the local town, in the theatre here. Her final tour, and I got a doodah. Let me show you. When Barbara Dickson announced this was going to be her farewell tour, you see, it's her farewell full band tour, farewell band. So I think she's still going to tour with one. There's a man, I think it's called Nick Holland, he does keyboard. We've seen her with him, just those two, and of course Barbara plays keyboard and guitar as well. So we've seen them doing that. So it's I think she still will tour, but it's just not the full band. So there she is. She's 70 something. She had a bit of a cold, but she still cracked out a good tune. So I bought 4 tickets when it first came out. I couldn't choose my seats for some reason, so they were all on the front row, and I've always been put off by the front row. I thought, oh, you're going to get a sore neck looking up, but no, it was pretty good. I was glad we were at the front, and it wasn't too loud. I was worried about it being a bit loud, but no, it wasn't at a loud volume. Most of the folk would have been sort of old, let's put it like that, in the audience. So I paid for 4 tickets because we took 2 friends of ours with us, because they bought us tickets to see theatre, so I paid for them all. So we're all at the front. It was brilliant, I must say. I'm glad I went. I queued up to get my tour doodah signed. I mean, there was a lot in the queue, you know. Some people just went, and then there was a separate queue if you wanted to meet and greet. Couldn't say a lot, there were people behind me. So anyway, I recently bought from Barbara Dickson's website, and it was put up on her Facebook that she's supposed to, you know, she does answer people on Facebook. Well, I assume it's her. Sometimes it's not her, I reckon. Anyway, she was selling some programmes and signed photos and some albums, record albums, vinyl albums, and some vinyl singles. And she put this post up on Facebook and said, oh, we're selling these. It's to help fund a new limited edition book she's going to bring out. So anyway, I decided to buy the albums, and there's about 17 or 18 of her albums. I have a few of them, but I thought, oh, you know, I'll get those. So I bought them, and when I received them, I took a picture of them all and said, oh, thank you, I'm thrilled with them. And then I mentioned it to her when I was getting this signed. I said, oh, I was the one that bought the albums. I don't know if she knew what I was talking about. I felt a bit of a pranny, to be honest. I thought, does she even know? I mean, some of the answers look like they're from her. I mean, it does say Barbara Dickson, but there's obviously somebody else who's doing her social media for her, I reckon. But I just said, oh, I bought them, I'm really pleased with them. And I said, I hope to get a copy of your book. And she said, oh, thank you, blah, blah. So I just felt a little bit, I don't know. You can't expect her to know who's who, can you, really? All those people coming up. Her husband was there. I recognised him straight away. I bought the programme and one of the items here before the concert, which I could have bought after, but anyway, I bought it before. I suppose because I already had the programme, I could join the queue to get it signed, because I didn't have to go and buy it and then join the queue. So I had this on my lap the whole time. But her husband was there behind the concession or the merchandise stand with some other woman. So this was a tenner. And also I got, these were on a website but aren't anymore, this novelty tea towel. There we go. What does it say? I dry them so well. By Barbara Dishcloth and Elaine Plate, I think it says, yes. It's a little, that's the chess. If you remember, Barbara Dickson featured in the musical Chess, and she had the #1 hit with Elaine Page, I Know Him So Well. And that's like the Chess logo. So I bought the black one. I initially picked up the white. It was a loose doodah, loose thread. I initially picked up the white and then saw the black and said, oh no, I'll have the black instead. But after the show had finished and I saw the stand was still open, I decided to get the white one as well. I went up to the lady behind. I said, oh, well, I might as well have the white one. I took £30 cash with me, as well as my card, because sometimes you don't know if they only accept cash. So I had £30 cash, and that's what this cost me. They were £10 each for the tea towel, £10 for the programme. It's talking about, you know, the musical she's been in. She was in Band of Gold, that prosy thing that was on telly. She wasn't a prostitute in it. She just helped. She helped the prostitutes out with accommodation, you know, wiped down the surfaces, possibly. So that is quite fresh in my memory, and it was really good. And the 2 friends had never seen Barbara Dickson live, and they really enjoyed it. They said they did anyway. They were tapping along. They like Kate Rusby, who's a folk singer, and Barbara Dickson, you know, started in folk before she went into a bit of pop and stuff. So I think they enjoyed it. They seemed to. she played, you know, all the hits, and well, she didn't do I Know Him So Well. She's done it before on stage on her own. But yeah, very professional. And as I said, she did have a cold. She said she's got a tour cold. But I mean, she was fantastic. Without a cold, wow. But even with a cold, couldn't falter. You know, she's in her 70s. She can still... She did Another Suitcase in Another Hall. That's from Evita, which she was on the soundtrack for that. And that is quite hard to sing. And her voice has changed. Obviously, she's older. It's gone down. But, you know, it's still perfect tune. And it's still got that warm, mellow voice. That's what attracted me initially when I heard Barbara Dickson. It was the voice rather than the actual songs. That's what I like. And it's a similar sort of tone to Frida from Abba. I always, because Abba works so well because you've got Agneta with a much higher pitch and Frida is lower. I don't, you know, there's obviously a name for what their voices are, and both, you know, their voices have changed again because they'll be in their 70s, I expect. And though the blend of those two voices, the ABBA girls, is fantastic, but I've always thought Frida's voice had a much warmer quality, and Agneta's, shrill is the wrong word, that's completely the wrong word, because it's not shrill to listen to, but you know what I mean. Agneta's is a lot higher, isn't it? But they blend so well together. So I've always preferred Frida's voice. I just prefer the sort of mellow sound. And Barbara and I have sung duets. I've sung duets with Barbara for years and years. I couldn't believe it, actually. I realised it's 40 years ago, 40 years ago, that I bought my first Barbara Dickson album in 1984 in Crawley, West Sussex. And we're now in 2024. So that's, you know, amazing. Last week I saw ABBA, well, sort of, saw ABBA in London. And then the same week I saw Barbara Dickson, my two favourite artists. Now if Clifford T. Ward can come back to life, that'd be great. Maybe he'll do an Avatar concert. Right, so I've done the trip to London already. Mentioned the eBay. Oh, the dog wee situation, if you want to get updated on WeGate. I've had my nose down to it. I left it, you know, I kept doing it, and then I've just thought, like, leave it be, Rog, let it dry. It's completely dried. And I've had my nose down. It's a slight whiff still. And then I've whipped over last night with the smaller Bissell I've got. But the whole carpet needs a good shampooing. But I think, you know, I think I've saved the carpet. Fingers crossed. Right. I've got an Asda order coming. I'll show you that later. I think I've only ever done 2 Asda orders delivered here. I did one to my mum's. There are substitutions. Pardon me. More substitutions than I would get from Iceland or Ocado. But I have to say, apart from one I might reject, the substitutions aren't silly. Like I ordered 3 Star bars because they were on a 3 for offer. No Star bars. You can't buy them in multi-packs. Very hard to get. I love Star bars. You can't get them in multis. You can only buy them singly. They didn't have any, so they sent me 3 Boost, which is a fair substitute. I might pass those off. I don't know. Depends how hungry I am when I get my order. I'll show you that later in the video. And one bit of news I had. My mum FaceTimed me earlier in the week and said, I've got this recorded letter for you, sent to her address. And she said, oh, it costs them £8 to post. Do you want me to open it? And I thought, oh, heck, do I? What, you know? Who knows my mum's address and knows I thought, who can that be from? Anyway, she opened it and sort of looked, and it was a cheque. It was a cheque for £1,000. And it was from my godfather, Roger, or the Reverend Roger, who I was named after. And he died, I think it was September last year. And so that sort of, his wife sent a note and said, you know, Roger wanted you to be remembered in his will. So completely out of the blue. I wasn't expecting anything, you know. Last time I saw, I called him Uncle Roger. There's no relation to me. I think he was a cousin of my dad's. So I don't know what that makes him as far as relative. But his middle name is my dad's mother's maiden name, Newcomb. Anyway, so that was out of the blue. I mean, I haven't got the cheque. Obviously, I'll pick it up when I go to Mum. I'm thinking, how do I pay a cheque into my account? But Mark and I also have a joint account, which I pay into to cover the bills for the house, you know, my share. So he said, well, if you can't pay it into your account, he can pay it in, you know, into the joint account and then transfer it to me. So probably do that. But I'm not spending it. I don't feel it's right. I don't want to fritter it away. I don't want to treat myself. So I'm just going to save it. I'm just going to put it into a savings account and just leave it. And, you know, I'm fortunate to be in a position where I don't need the money to pay off bills or anything. If I'd received it 10 years ago or so, I would have been, a lifeline. But although, you know, very nice, and I did send a little thank you email because she wanted, Camilla, his wife, wanted me to acknowledge I've got it. So I just said, you know, it's very nice that Roger remembered me, and I just told her about the books that Roger used to send me, you know, these little religious books that he sent me, which I did, you know, I did read. I didn't toss aside and think I wanted a toy or something, or Whiz and Chips annual. I did actually read them. And so yeah, totally unexpected out of the blue. But you know, if you're watching, Roger, thank you very much for remembering your namesake, godson. Hopefully you've met up with my dad and having a good chin wag up there. So, speaking of the Amazon, well, I wasn't, but I've just seen it on my thing. I've got another wish list gift or gifts to thank kind viewer for. Before I show you these, I don't know if I've done it myself, but on my Amazon wish list I put some printer ink. Right, I've had it before and it's good. You know, it's not the genuine stuff, but I'm not paying the prices that Epson or Canon, whatever printer I've got, whatever they charge, is silly prices. So I've tried these cheaper ones and they work. I just need them to print labels off mainly for my eBay sales. So it was on offer at half price, £12 on instead of 23 something. So I bought another because I like to keep a good stock of those in, because I ran out once. It was what a panic that was. I had to print out the label for a box, you know, with the barcode on, because they don't provide it. I think this is UPS, and the printer wasn't printing. It needed new ink and I didn't have any spare, and it was like, so it was a mad rush up to Asda on my bike, paid full price for the pack of printer ink, came back, and that's all. I didn't even look round. I just went to that straight, and I was pedalling fast, getting home and thinking, I hope they don't come and, you know, try and collect when I'm out. Fortunately they didn't. I managed to get the thing printed and ready for it to be collected. So ever since that event, I'd like to have at least one pack of full printer inks in stock, so that would never happen again. So now I think I've got 2 packs because it was on offer. I thought, yeah, I've got a good supply now, so I'll never run out of ink. And, you know, well, I will, but I won't. I'll always have some. So I put that on my wish list, and it said it had been purchased, but it was purchased the day after I bought myself some. So I thought, sod's law. But I thought, it doesn't matter, I'll use it. But then I'm wondering, because I haven't received it, I'm wondering whether I accidentally bought it off my own wish list. But I couldn't find anywhere where it said this is from Roger's wish list. I couldn't see it. So if you've bought me the printer ink off my wish list, go and check to see where it is, because I don't know if it was delivered when I wasn't here, if a neighbour's got it. There's no notification, you see, when it's bought from wish list. I don't know when things are turning up. So it could be me, it might be me, but if you have bought that printer ink and you're wondering why I haven't thanked you for it, it's because I haven't got it. So you need to check back your orders and see if it's been delivered, and see if it says where it's been delivered. And if that is the case, please let me know, because a neighbour might have it and think, well, we haven't collected it from the neighbour, but I don't know. But it's possibly I've been stupid enough to buy it off my own wish list. It's possibly that. Because it was a bit of a coincidence that I bought it and then suddenly it appeared. I think I probably bought it, but if not, I'd you know. Anyway, so I got 2 more lovely gifts from my wish list. This is a Vicky Wood, not DVD, a CD, Victoria Wood from Soup to Nuts, a BBC Radio 4 retrospective. A look back at Victoria Wood's stand-up and songs via her own archives and tapes, including never-before-heard material presented by Rebecca Front. I think Rebecca Front. That is hard to say. I'm pretty sure she is the actress who was in... She's been in lots of things, but she was in Nighty Night, that rather dark sitcom. She played Cafe in the wheelchair, whose life was made a misery by Jill Tyrrell. That's a very dark and very strange comedy, but I do like Nighty Night. You can see that on iPlayer, I think, if you're in the UK. You might be able to see it in other countries. So Rebecca, I'm sure that is. So anyway, so it's a Radio 4 documentary. I thought it'd be interesting to listen to some snippets. So thank you for that. This is a gift from Elfin Knight. I do recognise Elfin's name because he often comments on my videos. I assume Elfin is a he. But anyway, Elfin. I don't think that's his real name. Loved Vicky Wood when I was younger. Enjoy, Roger, from the Elfin Knight. From Elfin Knight. So thank you very much. I'll enjoy listening to that at some point. Lovely Vicky. I actually I shed a few tears when she died. I really did. Because yes, like Elfin, I've grown up, from the early 80s with Victoria Wood, and I can watch her stuff over and over again. Dinner Ladies, I can't remember how many times I've seen those. We've got another book. This follows on, or it's an earlier book. If you remember, Sue bought me the 1960s homes. Apologies. I think, yes, it is the 60s. So I haven't even opened this yet. I haven't even had a look. So this is the 1950s home, which is despite the fact I'm not 70. I don't remember the 50s. I wasn't born in the 50s. Okay. But I do like 50s things. I do like some 50s interiors and design, films from the 50s, that whole 50s suburban housewife. It's probably a myth, but anyway, it's another little similar book to the 60s one from the Shire. Was it shirebooks.co.uk? And we'll just read the blurb on here. The 1950s marked a bright and bold new era, and nowhere was this more firmly proclaimed than in the home. In the aftermath of the Second World War, design was key to a new way of living, as carefully thought out principles were applied in new construction across Britain. This book shows us the homes of the 1950s, looking at the trends for open plan and high-rise buildings, and the new materials available for construction and decoration, and at the new colour schemes and innovative decor. It also covers the craze for DIY that took the nation by storm, and the increased consumerism that made the modern home and its novel technology accessible beyond the middle classes. This is the perfect book for anyone who lived through the 1950s, and for the many thousands of people who still live in these houses and want to know what they were like when they were new. So if you remember the 50s, obviously they had the war. A lot of houses were bomb damaged or completely destroyed, and people had to have new housing, and they did. I've got a book on this actually. They put up these buildings called prefabricated homes. So I think they were sort of partially built in a factory, the walls and things, and they were sort of assembled like a bit like a Lego house in full size. And if you and this is another recommendation if you like sort of 50s or just after the war programs. Shine on Harvey Moon. If you can get to see that, there might be some on YouTube or some streaming services. Shine on Harvey Moon was set just after the war, and Rita, Harvey's sort of estranged wife, she lived in a prefab. I don't know if it was in Poplar, could be, but she lived in a prefab. And these were just built, you know, they were supposed to be temporary, but there were some still survive now. There was some in York, I don't know if they're still there, but they were supposed to be like a temporary home, but they seem to last and people like living in them. And of course, a lot of people were bombed out of London who lived in high-rise flats, and new towns are built. There's one called Harlow, and back in the day it's called Harlow Newtown. So for some people that must have been wonderful to go from like a flat or sort of terrace house in London with an outside toilet to getting sort of a modern new build house with a bit of countryside, a bit of greenery around them, and little shopping centres. Back then I think people were grateful to just get out of the conditions they were living in and into something a lot more modern, and that would have happened after the war in the 50s. I've got another note. A gift from Elfin Knight. Hope to see on your channel at some point. That should be on my gravestone. At some point. And enjoy. Yes, hope to see this on your channel at some point, Roger. From Elfin Knight. So again, Mr. Knight, thank you so much for my Vicky Wood CD and my 1950s home book. Very gratefully received. All the gifts I've had so far for my wish list. Well, that's about it. I wasn't just going to do a sit down doodah, but it's happened. So lots more content coming up. I'm trying to give you 2 videos a week, you might have noticed. So I've got lots and lots of ideas to do for videos, lots of different things. I'm going to try and keep it varied. I did get a lot of extra subscribers when I started doing the caravan videos, but when they realised I wasn't just doing caravan videos, a lot of those subscribers, you know, slung their hooks, so to speak, because I'm not just a caravan channel. I do bits on caravanning, but you know, this is just a very varied channel with all sorts of different things. So there's going to be product reviews on this channel. There's going to be nostalgic things I bought from my, you know, that I had in my past, or things I've still got from my past, but a lot of the times I bought things that I remember having as a child or a young man and wanted to have them again. So things like that will be shown, retro stuff, chatting about the olden days. There'll also be some more cooking and baking stuff, shopping hauls, chats like this. I've got a whole series. I'm not going to say what it is, but I've got a series that will probably be once or twice a month, and it's going to go on for quite some time because it starts with one item and then other items will be added to it throughout the months until it's complete. Sort of a bit like Advent calendar, but spread out. It's not going to be every day. But it's that sort of thing. It's going to be, I'll show you something at the beginning, and then when the whole series is finished, you'll see it complete. You'll know what it is when you see the first video, but I'm looking forward to doing those because I've had this particular thing for a long time, and I think, oh, I must get that started because I really want to do it myself. Because this channel for me, unlike my main channel, is just much more relaxed, much less polished, much more me in the raw. It's much more about my personal interest. On my other channel I'm just featuring mainly the vacuums and stuff, and that's the focus. That's what people watch it for. They're not interested in me, they're watching it for the vacuums and the carpet washers and the floor care. But anyone who watches this channel, I assume that you are quite interested in what I've got to say. And if you're not, then what are you doing here? But I understand that not everything I'm going to show you on this channel, because it is so varied, is going to appeal to everyone, and that's fine. Just pick and mix. Choose what you want to watch. That's fine. I don't expect you to watch every single video. It would be nice if you did, but I don't expect you to. I subscribe to channels, and sometimes I don't even click on a video. I just see the title. I thought, well, no, I'm not really interested in that. I won't click on that one. But next week there'll be something I am interested in. But I would never dream of going in and saying, I'm not interested in this. I get that. Why are you doing this? I'm not interested. I thought, well, I'm interested in it. That's the whole point. If anyone wants to start a YouTube video channel, just start. And I did. I started my vacuum channel because I'm interested in them. And that's all. I just thought, oh, let's share my interests. That's how it starts. And if you start YouTube with that, don't start YouTube thinking, oh, you're going to be rich and famous. If you just want to share your hobbies and interests with people, just because it's something you're passionate about, and you think, well, somebody else might be interested. There will be somebody. Believe you me, no matter how obscure your interests are, there's going to be other people that find them interesting. And it's worth doing. Just get the camera, have a go, but don't expect. This channel is tiny. My other channel grew, but it took a long time to grow. But it grew organically. I didn't, some people I think you can buy subscribers and things, but no, I've never done anything like that. But just do it if you enjoy it. So this, for me, this channel is just, it's very hard to describe. It's just where I can connect to folk on a more personal level than I do on my other channel. So that's why I know why this channel isn't as popular as my other channel, because when people subscribe and watch my other channel, I think most of them are just watching because they like to watch the vacuums and stuff. They're not bothered about me as a person. So that's why I did this channel, in case anyone was interested. And of course it does stem back from years ago when I made the videos for Sue and Mandy, long before the internet and YouTube. And again, that is something I need to start uploading. Coffee makes me have a bit of a belch with the coffee. Yes, I've got tons and tons of archives that I can put up. But it's all just getting it sorted. I'm getting better. There's things need doing in the house still. I've got to concentrate on that. I've stuff to get rid of on eBay, and there's other things I need to do. But I'm just hoping that I can just give you 2 videos a week, no matter what. But it's going to be very different subjects. It's not going to be all the same stuff. It'll be whatever random thing I decide or I've got time to do that week. I'll put it up on my channel just to try and keep the momentum going, and give you more of me if that's what you want. So I'll go now. I don't know whether to show you the Asda haul. Don't know if you're I've done an Ocado one that you might have already seen by now. Another Ocado. I'll do a separate video on the Asda one. Keep it separate. But I think that's all. I've got both doggies next to me. Well, just down the side, off just slightly. You might be able to see Daisy. Molly's down here as well. Bless her. They're both getting on. Bless them. So that's it. I think that'll do for this video. It wasn't supposed to be, as I said, I wasn't supposed to just be sitting down chatting. I was going to move about a bit, but anyway, it's turned out it was a sit-down jobby. So I hope you've enjoyed having a sit-down and a cuppa with me. Once again, thank you to Elliot from the Maracas. More of them coming up. And of course, thank you once again to the Elfin Knight for my lovely book and Vicky Wood CD. So thanks all of you for watching, and I'll see you all, well, very, very soon for whatever video I put up next. Bye for now.